The Houston Texans had an amazing Week 10 win to keep their season alive. Now they're going to travel to Nashville to take on another division rival in the Titans. My name's Tyler, here with my brother Ryan. We're going to break down this Week 11 matchup and provide our predictions at the end. So be sure to stay tuned. Leave a comment. Let us know who you think is going to win and why. And while you're at it, hit that subscribe button to get notified when new videos go out. Trying to get to 100 new subscribers this week, and let's see if we can do that in this video alone. And Ryan, let's get into it here.
Let's
Davis
do it.
Mills, what a game. I think, too, just what an amazing performance. 26 total points scored in the fourth quarter to come back against the Jacksonville Jaguars, who are currently the final team in the wild card spot if the playoffs were held today. And the Houston Texans needed this win. Otherwise, they would have been 3 games back from them just in general, let alone just like not even including the division and how far back they are from the Indianapolis Colts, who they do still play twice this season. But still, great win overall. 27 for 45, 292 yards by Davis Mills and 2 touchdowns, 130 yards and rushing as well too. And slow start to this defense because to me, I think what I picked Houston to win, it wasn't in a shootout. It was because I think this Houston defense was going to be able to shut down Trevor Lawrence and Jacksonville, and they did in the second half. But I still think this defense is one of the best defenses in the league, and yet their offense finally kind of started to find themselves, and they have slowly been finding themselves over these past couple of weeks, which we'll get to here in a second. But in general, though, still a win's a win. Now they get to go to Tennessee, who's coming off a bye, and after they traded away some key pieces as well too. Because they are definitely in a rebuilding mode as they're looking for the new head coach and trying to build around their young superstar in Cam Ward. So, Ryan, I want to throw it over to you here. Watching that Houston game, absolutely wild. CJ Stroud did not play because he was in a concussion protocol. But that being said, though, this Texans offense seems to be coming around a little bit, and this Texas offense could just be average. We typically say this about a lot of these teams that have really good offense and a horrible defense. But if this offense could just be average, who knows what could happen to this team, because this defense is legit.
Yeah. Well, and that's one of the things too. I think we saw today. Trevor Lawrence really did not have that great of a day. I think you look as this loads. So only I think 119 passing yards, 94 rushing yards. He got sacked 5 times today. They had 2 turnovers on the Jacksonville side, and so I think that's something that this game really shouldn't have been that far out of hand. It should not have been 29-10 to begin with. But then you look, I think that just shows how good this defense really is, because it took heroics for this offense to get back into it. But the offense putting them in the hole was why they were in that spot in the first place. And so I think that's something going into this game. I'm really curious to see how Cam Ward and this Titans offense are going to attack this Texans defense, because there really doesn't appear to be any weaknesses. I think they have 2 really good run stuffing defensive tackles there in the middle, 2 really good pass rushers there on the edge with Will Anderson, Hunter. Linebackers look really solid. Opinions on Azeez Al-Shaair aside, and that secondary is just phenomenal, led by Derek Stingley. And so, like, there's really no weakness at any point on this defense. And going to this offense, one of the reasons that was really holding them back was this offensive line was just not that good through the first 5 or 6 weeks of the season. Just missed assignments, like losing one-on-one matchups. But since then, we've really kind of seen them come together as a unit and just play a whole lot better. And so I think that's going to be the biggest thing for this Texans team as a whole, not just in this game, but going forward, that this offensive line is really improving, and that's helping them take the proper steps forward. So I really like what I've seen out of this Texans team the last couple weeks. Then you flipping pages here to the Tennessee Titans. I've not really liked what I've seen from them at all this season. So if it weren't for like some crazy, I don't even want to say heroics at the end of the Arizona game, but Arizona completely quit on that game, which is very unlike them, and allowed Tennessee to come back in there and kick a field goal to win by 1 point. Other than that, they would be talking about 0-9 and then picking number 1 overall again. Well, actually, I think they are technically number 1 overall because the Jets won, and some of the other teams.
They're number 1 overall right
won.
now.
Yeah. So this Titans team, I mean, they're just trying to find pieces to build for the future. I don't really know what else like they could do. I think just talent wise, they're just a little deficient on the offensive side of the ball. And defensively, they have Jeffrey Simmons and not a whole lot else.
Yeah, no, no, and that's where I was going to say, like in this matchup here, it is going to be interesting to see how the Houston Texans offense bounces back, or sorry, not bounces back, but can they continue this type of momentum against this Tennessee Titans team? Because say what you want about the Titans as a whole, this defense is still actually a pretty solid unit in general. They do like they they give up yards or points, but it's really just because this offense sucks and they're constantly
Yeah.
on the field as well too. And so it's like um, Jeffrey Simmons. He's been hurt these past couple weeks, but he's one of the better defensive players in the league. But once again, he's on the field so much, and Cam Ward just has no help around him as well too. So it's offensively curious to see how the Titans just keep on developing. But then too as well, I think it's going to be a fun matchup and a good matchup for the Texans to have like for this offensive line going up against this Titans defensive line and just the front seven as a whole because they can still be creative and can cause some trouble. But in general, though, when I look at this game, even if they cause them a bunch of trouble, and if you go back and look at that game from earlier this season, the Texans had a tough time with this Tennessee Titans defense moving the ball, getting touchdowns. They had to settle for a lot of field goals. The reason why, though, it ended up being like 26-0 or whatever it was because that Titans defense just got worn down by the end of the game, and the Texans were finally able to capitalize. I think even too. I'm curious, what was the
It
time?
was 6-0 going into the fourth quarter. The
Yeah.
Texans scored 20 fourth quarter points.
Well, and the Texans had the ball for 38 minutes out of the game.
Yeah.
So it's like that. The Texans, and I think it's going to be something very similar. It's like we could talk about. I think it is going to be unique, and I think we're going to learn a lot about this Texans offense and their development on the road against this Titans defense, especially to the Titans coming off a bye, because that's still going to be a tough matchup. That being said, though, Titans aren't going to score on this Texans defense. It's just that their defensive line is better than the Texans defensive line is better than the Titans offensive line. Their secondaries is going to be able to lock down all their receivers as well too. Calvin Ridley, he has been hurt. He's probably going to come back for this game coming off the bye because they didn't put him on IR. But still, even just a very young receiving room, just in general, and they're going to be
Mhm.
able to lock him down. You're going to have your linebacker room that's going to be able to fly all around the field, stop any running game that they present. So just defensively, I wouldn't be shocked if the Titans didn't score. I'd be shocked if the Titans scored more than 10 points, if I'm being completely honest.
Yeah.
But I just think throughout a 60-minute game, the Texans are going to be able to put up 21 points, and that's all they're going to need to do. Yeah, and so
Mhm.
now that being said, though, too, that's if the Texans were playing not great offensive football. If they're able to continue to keep playing like this, whether it's Davis Mills or C.J. Stroud, they could make a good push here. And as they're keeping their playoff hopes alive, as if we go look at who they are playing for, uh, um, what their schedule's like for the rest of the year is that so that this game, then they host Buffalo on Thursday
Yeah.
Night Football. That's going to be a really fun one in Week 12. But then they're at Indianapolis, which is a great one, at Kansas City. Then they're going to be hosting Arizona, and that's going to be a tough game. Don't let Arizona's record fool you. But then a tough stretch down the way. Home versus Las Vegas, not too bad, but at Los Angeles Chargers, and then home versus the Indianapolis Colts, which is going to be a big one overall come week 18. If I'm the
Mhm.
Colts, I want this division locked up going into that game because that's going to be a
Yeah.
tough one. But tough road ahead for Houston that's keeping their playoff hopes alive.
Yeah. No, I look at that schedule and it's a tough schedule. But if you're 5-5 coming out of this game, there are no three teams that I would want to play and beat more than the Buffalo Bills, the Indianapolis Colts, the leader of your division, and the Kansas City Chiefs.
Hmm.
To me, those are one, you can get back in your division race, get within a game or two of your division, and you still play them again. And then you're going to be playing two teams that are slated in the wild card race at this point in time. So those are three really big matchups coming off of what I believe to be a tune-up game. Just to get into predictions here, where I think Houston's going to absolutely maul them.
Yeah, Houston's
But
going to win this one.
yeah, and so I really am like excited for Houston because they've kind of started to put the pieces together. This defense is really good, and man, that's going to be a fun 3-game stretch for this team.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead. Let's wrap it up here. You guys have not already, please go ahead and like and subscribe. That is the best way to help out the channel. While you're down there, leave a comment on who you think is going to come out ahead in this matchup. Will it be the Houston Texans? Will it be the Tennessee Titans? Other than that, we'll see you guys next time.